Today, we're going to be talking about a respected pastor, a bitter divorce, and a trail of digital harassment that investigators say didn't stop until the day his wife died. Today, we're breaking down the federal indictment against a former South Carolina pastor and the disturbing allegations prosecutors say surrounded his wife's final months alive. This case just isn't about cyberstalking. It's about how online abuse, control, and intimidation can escalate behind closed doors, even in families that appear respected and faith centered from the outside. And now, nearly a year after his wife's death, federal prosecutors say they have enough evidence to charge her husband with serious crimes. According to federal authorities, 46-year-old John Paul Miller, a former South Carolina pastor, was indicted by a federal grand jury on two charges: cyberstalking and making false statements to investigators. The indictment stems from the investigation into the death of his estranged wife, 30-year-old Micah Miller, who was found passed away in April 2024. At the time of her death, the couple was separated and in the middle of a divorce. On April 27th, Micah Miller's body was discovered at Lombard River State Park in Robeson County, North Carolina. That's just about an hour north of Myrtle Beach. Earlier that day, Micah contacted 911, telling dispatchers she feared she might harm herself. Deputies were sent to the park to do a welfare check. They later found her deceased in the water, with what authorities described as a self inflicted gunshot wound, and there was a firearm nearby. The North Carolina medical examiner ultimately ruled her death a suicide, but investigators say the story didn't end there. According to court documents, detectives uncovered information that, while not directly related to the cause of death, raised serious concerns about Micah's husband. Federal prosecutors allege that beginning in November 2022 and continuing up to her death, John Paul engaged in a pattern of harassment and control. The indictment claims Miller sent his wife unwanted and harassing messages, sometimes contacting her more than 50 times in a single day. Prosecutors also allege he secretly placed tracking devices on her vehicle, interfered with her finances, damaged her car tires, and most disturbingly, posted a nude photo of her online without her consent. Federal agents interviewed Miller during the investigation, and according to the prosecutors, he denied damaging his wife's tires. But investigators say records show he purchased a tire deflation device online and sent messages to others referencing her vehicle. That alleged deception led to a second federal charge, making a false statement to investigators. Prosecutors say Miller's actions placed his wife in reasonable fear of death or serious bodily harm and caused substantial emotional distress. If convicted, he faces up to 5 years in federal prison for cyberstalking, plus 2 additional years for lying to investigators, along with fines that could reach $250,000. Miller is scheduled to be arraigned in federal court on January 12th. Authorities say this case highlights how domestic abuse doesn't always leave visible bruises, and how digital harassment can be just as dangerous. If you want daily, consistent content on breaking true crime stories, take 1 second, click that subscribe button.